The C tokens actually. C tokens. In C tokens, we are having keywords, identifiers, constants, strings we have seen. Next, operators we have seen. Then some special operators also there. That is totally lab part. We are in operators concept. So we are discussing increment and decrement operator. Today, before going to the lab, let us cover our theory concept also in our CTPS3. Okay, we are in first unit only. In the first unit, we have seen that is introduction to, yeah, intro to what we have seen computational thinking. That is the total first unit. We have seen what is computational thinking, hmm, what is logical and algorithmic thinking, algorithmic thinking, and these are the concepts we have seen. Here we are having one concept called decomposing of a complex problem. Decomposing means decomposition. Decomposition concept is there. Next, we are having the concept called data and information. Data and information. This is total unit 1 concepts. Unit 1. So we have seen what is computational thinking. Many examples we have gone through. Then logical and algorithmic thinking also we have seen some problems, how to think logically, what is logical bomb. So how the algorithm will be, we have seen those. So we need to discuss decomposition. Decomposition of a complex problem. So let us go with this decomposition today. Can anybody tell me what is decomposition?
Solving a complex into
Yeah.
the similar.
Sir, unary operator psychology.
Yeah, we can discuss the lab part in the second class. Okay,
Okay, sir.
that's it. We are because we are not covering the theory part. So most of the people they have completed first unit also. No. Okay, let's cover this theory part. What is decomposition?
Solving a complex problem into the similar steps, simple steps.
Yeah, only solving the complex problem or dividing the complex problem, then solving it the simplest steps. Yeah. So that is called decomposition. Means dividing the problem into smallest modules and finding the solution for that. So if we have, if it is a small problem, that is not a problem to solve it. We need not to divide it again. But if it is a complex problem, not to solve that, so we will be somewhat. So that's why that should be divided into some modules or some pieces. So each part should be solved separately. So after solving all the parts and combinedly, we can bring a single solution for a complex problem. So decomposition, it is very important concept also. Okay. For example, if you take uh, if you take a curry, for example, that is vegetable curry. So brinjal curry we have that is there we have prepared. So if you want to decompose, if you want to decompose that in order to understand that problem, so what are the ingredients what we have used there? We have to divide into some parts in order to understand that. Okay, and if like that we are having many problems. For example, let's come into the mathematical part, not in the general sense. For example, I'm having some 552. How can I decompose 552? Decompose it. How many hundreds, 500s I'm having? Tell me.
5 into
5.
100,
Yeah, yeah.
500, 500,
100. 1.
Yes, 50,
Yeah, 51.
50, 2,
And
2 1.
is 2,
yeah, 2 is 1. So here again, if
3,
you divide, how many hundreds we are having? 100 5.
500, 5,
Yeah,
500,
10's 5. 1's 2.
2.
2.
Okay. So this is mathematical decomposition 200. So we have one 500, 150, and 1 2. So combinedly we can tell the number 552. Likewise, simply we can decompose. Actually, before going to the decomposition, we are having the concepts called in the computational thinking. We are having the main foundations or main stages of computational thinking. We are having main 4 stages of computational thinking. The first stage is decomposition. Second stage is pattern recognition. The third one is abstraction. Then the fourth one is algorithm design. So these are the 4 major concepts or stages of computational thinking. So throughout our total subject, we'll go through all these concepts. Nothing else. This is your subject, computational thinking. This is what you are going to learn. What is decomposition? All we are going to learn in the remaining units. We are going to learn the remaining units. Here, what is decomposition? We know dividing the complex problem into some smallest units and bringing the solution for them. And the pattern recognition. Pattern recognition means we can call it as a generalization. We can call it as a generalization. See, means we'll draw many solutions here. We'll draw many solutions. In general, we'll draw many solutions. Maybe this way right, this way wrong. We have done for a prime number also. What are the solutions? So we have seen the many solutions for them. So that will comes under the pattern recognition. And next, we have seen abstraction also. Abstraction means bringing into a particular formula generation. So a statement, a formula will be generated so that from among all these generalized solutions from the pattern recognition, so we'll come to a particular solution which is uh, uh, which is very useful and feasible and we can call with a low time complexity, okay, space complexity, we can have this problem through this, we can have this formula, through this formula we can solve it, we can go for the solution. So that is called abstraction, bringing into a particular formula. So finally, algorithmic design. So algorithm is a stage by stage, it's a stage by stage process or step by step process to solve a problem. Simply, we will go for the step by step. But these are what we have seen in the prime number, finding out whether the given number is prime or not. There also we have.
There is a disturbance in your voice.
Sai, what Sai, what's it?
So disturbance in your voice, sir. Is it not that much clear?
Is it okay now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All of you. Mute yourself. Okay, for the better understanding of the decomposition, other concepts briefly, not deeply, but mostly go for the decomposition concept. Let us go for an example. For example, I wanted to find sum of n numbers. I wanted sum of n natural numbers. How can I find out the sum of n natural numbers? Tell me. For example, as I am taking the n natural numbers, for example, the n value here I am taking, n value here I am taking 100. Sum of 100 natural numbers from 1 to 100.
100
So how can I find out a solution? What?
n into n plus 1 by 2.
Yeah, we have to add. Yeah, n into n plus 1 by 2. That is the formula. We should not go for the formula directly. Formula generation. Okay. So we have to know. So as value, for example, here we have to add the numbers from 1 to 100. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus and up to 100 plus 99 plus 100. Okay. So like this, it will come under the some decomposition concept. Decomposition. Yeah. Can anybody tell me how to draw the formula? Next.
No, reverse
S
the
minus 1.
S is equal to 100 plus
S
99
minus
plus
1.
not 1.
I'm not getting.
S minus 1, sir.
Yeah. Here s minus 1 means observe here I am drawing some solution and decomposing and going for the pattern recognition. See, I can reverse the order also. Reverse the order, then observe here s is
S
equal
equals
to
to 100 plus 99 plus
100 plus 99 plus 98 plus and so on, 3 plus 2 plus.
2 plus 1.
So like this also I can do. Okay, these are some possibilities. If you find the solution here also, you
Now
get the
add
answer.
both the equations.
Yeah, here also you get the answer. Yeah, somebody is telling adding the two equations. Observe here. So if we add, this is the sum we are finding out. Add the two numbers. Now observe here. Now you tell me. Uh, by adding both the equations, here I will
2s
get
equals to
2s is equal to, now you tell me,
101 plus
yeah, 1 plus 100 plus
99 plus 2,
2 plus 99.
3
So
plus 9,
likewise, 3 plus 98, so on. Observe
98
here, yeah, 99 plus
2,
2 plus
100
100 plus 1. Observe here. So if you add like that, simply we are getting this form. So observe here, here this is 2s. Here what is the answer here we will get? 1 plus 100, 101
not 1
plus,
not 1
here also you will get 101 and plus
100 times
on here, here
100
also you will get 101 and here also you will get 101. See, 101 how many times? This
100
101? 100 times.
100
This
times.
one, yeah, 2s is equal to 101 is
into 100.
100 times. Simply 101 is we are writing 100 times. Now observe here, s is equal to 101 into 100 by 2. 101 into 100 by 2. How much we will get? Here 250s we will get. Okay.
5050, sir.
5050.
So yeah, what will be the answer? 5050 is the answer. Simply finding the sum of natural numbers. Here we can generate a formula. So here we can generate a formula based on this. Here I can write S is equal to 101 into 100 by 2. Okay, we are doing n natural numbers. We are doing, for example, if the here we have taken 100, if it is equal to n natural numbers, 100, so just substitute
It means 2 plus 1 by 2.
n here,
Plus 1 is
101
equal to
to
plus 1 is
n,
1 by
n by 2. Here n value, for example, 100. How can we write this?
10 into
100
n plus 1 by 2.
yeah, by 2. This is the S. Finally, what we can conclude? Sum of n natural numbers is equal to here 100. In the
n.
100 place, simply we are taking
N.
100. Here, observe here. And we can reverse. N into n
N
plus
into
1 by is the standard formula. So n instead I'm writing here I'm substituting again n. So this is the standard formula. So we got
సార్ బోర్డ్ బాటం కనిపిస్తలేదు సార్ బాటం కింద
bottom కనిపించట్లేదా?
బోర్డ్ సార్ బోర్డ్ బాటం కింద కనిపిస్తలేదు సార్
Not visible.
It is visible, sir.
Visible, sir. Full screen. Full screen.
Visible, sir.
లెఫ్ట్ సైడ్
Fit to
సార్
frame. Ask him to make it fit to frame.
Okay. Fit to frame. Go to fit to frame. Then it is visible. Okay. Fine. So this is the way of abstraction we have formulated. Getting. So just Sairam, please mute your video. Okay. So this is sum of n natural number. We can find out for any number. We can find out for any number. Now you tell me the answer. Directly you can tell me the answer. Sum of 1000 natural numbers. If n is equal to simply 1000, the next what will be the answer? S is equal to 1000 into 1000
plus 1.
1 by 2. How much will you get? Here 500 will get.
50050.
500, 500, I think so. Just to check. Is it the answer?
Yes, sir.
Directly. Yeah. So directly we can get the solution. This is for unnatural numbers. For example, now already 3 steps are over. What we have done? We have decomposed the problem, we have divided, and afterwards combined we are doing. We are going for pattern recognition, generalizing the we are going for the generalized solution. Then finally we got abstraction, a single formula we got. So the final step, that is generating or writing algorithmic design. So when you write algorithm for finding out sum of unnatural numbers, writing the algorithm first. Can anybody tell me the algorithm?
Step-wise process. Step-wise process.
What we have to based on the formula directly we can go for the algorithm. Who will tell me the algorithm? Anyway, you can follow anyway. Not to find out the algorithm. The step one. Step one. You tell me what we have to do. We got the formula. Based on the formula, we are going to find out. Sum of natural. Based on the formula, we are going to find. Tell me. Step one.
Finding sum of n natural.
Yeah. Step one directly. We
To
have
know
to
the
take,
n value.
we have to take. Yeah.
Should know n value, sir.
inputs. You have to take the input of n value, isn't it? So we have to take the input as n, and for summation also we have to take an, as you know, for sum we have to take one variable. Or input means we can call them as initialization. We can call them as initializing. And value, okay, and declaring as variable or some variable. So after the initialization, what we have to do? After the initialization means declaring or assign. So simply we will go for the formula. Now you tell me the formula. Simply going for the calculation of the formula. Tell me.
To find out sum of n natural numbers, the power
Yeah.
by
To n plus 1 by
Yeah,
2.
you can write English like language. To find out sum of n numbers, we are having the formula, that is sum is equal to n into n plus 1 by 2. So afterwards substituting n value into the formula. So finally we will get the result into the sum variable. We will print the sum variable value. That is English like language. Getting English like language. So simply we'll write. So here we are having another way of adding the numbers. The basic way. For example, sum of first 5 natural numbers. How can we do? Simply 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5. That's it. Means the basic algorithm will be like that. Adding the first number and next number to the previous number, next number to the previous sum, next number to the previous sum. Getting that is the basic standard way. So that way also we can write the algorithm, but that is not the best way. That is not the best algorithm, because if the first 5 natural numbers we can add simply. So first 10 natural numbers also we can add. That is not a problem. But first 50 natural numbers we will try somewhat harder to add the number. First 100 numbers, first 200 natural numbers will be somewhat difficult. So that time we have to go for the solution. We have to make use of this form. I think you understood how to generate the formula, how to write the algorithm. For every problem, you can generate your own ways or your own formulas you can generate, and finally you can go for the algorithm. Based on the algorithm, what we are going to write here now, the step by step, it's very easiest thing, the algorithm writing. But some people, they will write very effective. What are the effective ways we are going to learn later for the best algorithm? So for this, by making use of this formula, can you find the sum of n numbers? Can you find the sum of n numbers? Can you write a program? Can you write a program? Students. Simply we can write the program.
Yes, sir.
Simply while writing the program,
Yes, sir.
simply we will write like this. Sum is equal to some value will take some n into n plus 1 by 2. Here will give that will directly will give the answer, because into means we have to take the asterisk to the program. Directly we can go for the program. That's it. So just you execute the program. Just simply you try whether you are getting the right answer or not. Okay, this is one way of decomposition. Here itself, I wanted to generate another form. Another formula. Here, what are the numbers we have taken? 1, 2, 3, like that. What is the common difference we are having? How much? The common difference?
1.
common difference is 1. Okay, the common difference is 1. Sometimes we are having arithmetic progression. Do you know the arithmetic progression? Do you know the arithmetic
Yes,
progression?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Here, for example, I am taking 1, next value I am taking 4, next value I am taking 7, next value I am taking 10. Okay. Now you tell me what's the next value?
13.
13, sir.
13, sir.
Common difference?
3.
3.
3.
The starting we are going with a starting
1.
arithmetic value 1. Starting value is 1. The difference is 3. That's it. So like we can have many ways also. For example, I am taking some 5. Next value I am taking some 15. Next I am taking 25.
25, 35.
Like that, what will be the next number?
45.
So what is the
45.
difference?
10.
Is
3
10. Yeah, difference is 10. The arithmetic starting value is
5.
so. Now I wanted to find out. Observe here. I wanted to find out if the starting value a is equal to 5, the difference is equals to 10.
10.
Yeah. So I wanted to find sum of first uh, some 7 positions. 7 positions. Here the value, first value is 5, difference is 10. First position, second, 2, 3 is got value 55. No disturbance is coming. Okay. So how many positions I am getting? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now you add. What will be the answer? That will be the sum of this arithmetic progression. 7 positions we are considering. So some result we will get. That will be the sum. So we have to generate a formula for that. How can we find out the sum of these types of arithmetic progressions? We have to generate a small formula. Getting, you have to generate a small formula. Who will tell that formula? How can we draw?
n by 2 into
N by 2 into 2a plus n
2a
minus
plus n minus 1
N
into
by
d.
2 into 2a plus minus
Yeah, directly you are telling.
N minus 1 into d.
2a plus n minus 1 into d.
You have to derivate that formula. Just you derivate the formula for that. Simply,
Yes, sir.
Write in reverse and
formula
add
is telling, sum is equal to. Tell me.
A plus d.
a plus d plus a plus 2d.
A plus
A plus d, A plus
Yeah, a plus d
A
plus
plus 2d
A plus
plus 2d
2d, A plus 3d.
a plus 1. Now you
plus
tell.
a. Sir, a plus
Starting
d.
A, sir.
Yeah, starting
A plus A plus D.
A plus
A
yeah.
plus d.
plus 2d.
A plus ND.
Sir, S is equal to
A plus n minus 1 into d.
Yeah, a plus
n minus 1 into d.
N minus
a
1 into d.
n minus 1 into d. Next,
That's it, sir.
finally,
Second,
L value also will be given.
ah,
Just you go through once. Because we do not know the last position. If it is some 10th position and all, we can know. Okay, we can know it. A plus, finally, A plus last, then last. These are the positions we'll get, last positions. So here actually last position is equal to A plus n minus 1 into D. This is the formula they have given. The last position always, because arithmetic value we have to take always. Difference will be there. So that difference we'll keep here. That is either subtraction or either addition. So whatever the difference we'll have, that will be mentioned. This is the last value. This is the actual standard formula for last value. Now I can reverse the previous way only. I can reverse the same formula. I can reverse the same formula. Observe here, L plus A plus L plus A plus L plus and so on. Here we will write,
Plus D.
yeah, A plus D, A plus 2D or A plus D, then A. So this will come under 2. Observe here, by adding the two equations, you will get 2 as, observe here, the last value can be, the last position can be anything. For example, infinite plus something, how much you will get? Infinite plus something, how much you will get?
Infinite.
Infinite.
Here, last value, by adding these two equations, A plus L we will get here. Next, observe here. Tell me, A plus D
Plus A plus
plus A plus L. Okay, likewise we will add. Next, finally,
plus
A plus L plus A plus 2D.
D.
So, yeah,
Directly
A
plus
plus
D.
A plus D. Next, finally, L plus. So, like this, simply the last value we will find out. We do not know the last position. So, as I told you, infinite plus something infinite, last plus something last, like that. So, always we will get this value only. That's why the last value. So, like this, we'll get A plus L plus A plus L plus, means the always it will become like infinite. Finally, A plus L. This is the formula we will get.
N into A plus L by 2.
Yeah. Simply A plus L. How many times it is? N times.
Okay.
Yeah. A plus L into N. That's it. Yes. Now you tell me. S is equal to
N into A
N
plus L by 2.
A plus L by 2. N by 2. Here we can write N by 2. So observe here, by substituting the L value here, how much we will get? Just tell me. S is equal to
By 2
N
into
by 2 into,
A.
now you substitute A plus
A.
N minus
Sorry,
N
A
minus,
plus
yeah, this is A, here I am substituting, first of all, N minus 1 into D, this is A's value, plus
Yes, sir.
L.
Oh, sir, it's
Value.
L value,
Sir,
sir.
L is A plus N minus 1 into D, sir. A plus N minus 1 into D.
A plus
A.
A plus N minus 1 into D. This is what we are getting. Now you tell me. N by 2, A plus, here A plus A, 2A.
2A
2A
plus N
plus
minus 1 into D.
minus 1 into D. This is the standard formula.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Now, so this is the arithmetic progression. Whatever the formula, just you remember these formulas means whenever you will get such type of series, we can easily solve by using the program. Okay. So now here, for example, in the arithmetic progression, I am taking a value is 1 and the d value is also 1. Now you substitute what we'll get. A value, the arithmetic progression, starting value I am taking 1. The difference is also 1. Now you substitute here s is equal to n by 2, 2 into 1,
2.
2 into 1,
2.
2 into 1 plus n minus 1. You tell me. The difference also 1. Now you tell me n by 2.
N into n plus 1 by
2 plus n minus 1. Here 1 means 1, that's it. Here 2 minus 1, how much? 1 we will get. Now you tell me n by 2. Here simply we
N
get
into n plus 1 by 2.
Simply this is the formula we are getting. Finally s is equal to n into n plus 1 by 2, your standard formula. If the difference is like this, if the a value is 1, simply it is like a sum of n natural numbers. Okay, by substituting in this. So this is the standard formula. So this is only suitable for n natural numbers. But this is suitable for all the numbers, all the series. Getting not the square series, not the square and cube series. Simply arithmetic progression starting with some 1, it can be started with any number, not only 1. If it is starting with 1, that will be this we can use. If it is starting with 1 or 5 or 10, the difference can be anything, not only 1, the difference can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it can be anything. This will be the standard form. So instead of this, you can go for this one also. Okay. Previously, we have seen the a value is 5. A value is 5. Now the difference is, I told you, 10. Let us substitute that, and I wanted to find out the sum of n positions, or that is 7 positions. 7 positions, yes, I wanted to find out. Now you tell me number of positions or n. Now you tell me 7 by 2.
2.
Yeah. 2 into a value 5 plus 7 minus 1. The difference into 10. Now you tell me how much will you get? 7 by 2.
7 by 2.
Number of positions. 10 plus
245.
yeah 6.
245, sir.
See, this is what we are
45.
getting. Yeah, 70. 35. 7 into 35. So that will be the value. Just you can try by adding these numbers also. 5 plus 15 plus 25 plus 35 plus 45 plus 55 plus 65. You can simply check whether the value is right or wrong. Okay. So this is the standard formula. Now, can you write the algorithm for this? Can you write the algorithm for this? Just you write the algorithm step by step process and find the solution. Standard algorithm in your English like language. Okay. So this is your homework. Write the algorithm for this formula and generate the solution. That's it. So this is about the decomposition. Combinedly, I told you, this is about the decomposition, then the pattern recognition, formula generating, that is abstraction, and finally algorithm design. Algorithm design. So this is the way you are going to analyze the problem. This is the way how to analyze the problems. Even in the online context also, you face these types of problems. Many problems. They will give many series for you. Some cubic series, square series. Okay. by drawing the solutions for simplest problems and going taking somewhat bigger, somewhat complex problems, you can understand how to draw the solution for another series also. So you must be very effective to draw the solution. Means some mathematical knowledge also needed here. Sir, I do not know how you have done. Simply we too have seen and learned. That's nothing else. By see, by learning one formula, maybe it is easy to generate the formula for another series. So this may be helpful for generating another series, another formula for different series. That's why I told you this is means learning means here simply you are gaining the knowledge. The previous knowledge will be helpful for the next problems. That will be helpful. Simply we will gain the knowledge and gaining the knowledge, and that will be helpful for solving the next problems. Okay, so this is about decomposition. So just you remember these solutions, these examples, even in the examinations also, you can write your own exam. It's not a matter. Simply, sir, we will not get the marks and all. See, here naturally you have to draw and you need to R&D, that's it. Research and development. Write in your own way. You can take any examples, no problem. That's not a matter. Even in the examinations also. We do not have standard passages, standard points. Nothing is there. So let us go for the program now. I think we have the second class now. Let's go for the program. You can write the programs for these two also. You write the programs for these two, and this will be helpful. We can execute this one even in here also. Okay, and here also we can execute the program. Just you write the programs and write the algorithm for this. I'll put a folder. Just you paste, upload your image there. That's enough. Okay, let's take a 2 minutes break. We can come back. We can go through the lab session. Is it okay?
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir.
Take for 2 minutes.
ఏయ్, తిన్నవాను తినిపో మరి.
సరే తింటా తింటా.
Friends, am I audible?
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. You're audible.
So let's come back. Let's move to the lab part. So in the lab part, we are discussing C tokens. What are the C tokens? Can anybody tell me? What are the C tokens?
Smallest unit.
Sir, individual
What are
smallest
the C
unit.
tokens?
Individual smallest.
Anybody?
Individual smallest unit.
What? Yeah, keywords.
Keywords.
Constants.
Identifiers.
Keywords.
Constants.
Identifiers.
Constants.
Identifiers.
Constant.
Constant.
String.
Yeah.
String.
String.
Yeah.
Special symbol.
String.
Special
String
Special
symbol.
symbols.
Operators.
Now, yeah, special symbols,
Operators.
operators, some special symbols. And operators. Already we have seen the keywords, identifiers, constants, string constants. We are in operators now. What are the list of operators? Can anybody? List of operators.
Plus.
Yeah, unary, binary, ternary operators.
Arithmetic.
Yeah, let us go for the binary operators. Binary operators, arithmetic,
Assignment.
Logical.
assignment,
Logical.
Relational operators.
assignment,
Logical.
Logical.
yeah, logical and relational,
Bitwise.
Bitwise.
bitwise. These will comes under binary operators. This will comes under the binary operators. What are the unary operators? Increment,
Increment, decrement.
Increment and decrement.
increment and decrement. Increment and decrement. Binary, ternary operators. Ternary means three operand. There we will require two operands. Three operators we have. Observe here, binary operators means two operands are required for these operators. Then these are unary. One operand is enough. Here two operands are required. Okay. In ternary, so that will be the different case. One operand, two operands. There three operands. Actually, three statements there we will see in the ternary operator. We are going to learn that also today. So let us go with the previously which we have seen increment and decrement operators. That is unary operator, that is increment and decrement operators. And decrement operators. See, here in increment and decrement operators, we have the two concepts, that is unary increment and quotient. Two concepts. Even if in increment also we are having pre, we are having post. Even in decrement also we are having pre, we are having post increment, post decrement. So pre increment, post increment, pre decrement, post decrement. What are these? The operators. The pre increment operator. So here simply, for example, I am having variable a. Okay, a plus plus a, it will comes under pre-increment operator. Post-increment operator, a plus plus. So let us take a only for decrement also. Minus minus a, this is pre-decrement operator. Next, a minus minus, that is post decrement operator. Here increment and decrement means plus plus and minus minus will identify with those operators. Okay, so this is called increment and decrement operations. But at the time of assigning the values to the variables, the thing will be different. Let us go with some examples. Let us go with some examples. For example, some a value, that is I am having 5. So now I am taking b is equal to plus plus 5. Okay. What will be the value here? B's value. Now you tell me what will be the b's value. Here I am taking printf. I am printing percentage d. B value I am printing, a value I am printing. B and a. You have to tell what is the output.
6.
What is the output?
6 and 5.
Pre-increment operator. The pre-increment operator. Yeah. See, in the pre-increment operator, what we are having first what we are having? Plus plus means increment. Means the value of a will be incremented totally. So the value of a will be incremented. Means already in the memory, a's value is 5 in the memory itself. So value of a will be incremented by 1, it will become 6. So after the incrementation of this particular variable, that will be assigned. So after the incrementation, what will be the value we are having? 6. Means what will be the value here in B? 6. So here I am printing this value, this is 6. What is the A value already? The A's location, what is the updated A value?
6. 6, sir.
What will we get? So after the incrementation, assignment will be takes place. Assignment will be takes place after the incrementation. Okay, same thing will be applied for 3 decrement also. Okay, same thing will be applied for 3 decrement. So here I am taking initially a value 5, initial value I am taking, b is equal to minus minus a. Now same I am printing the what is the b value and what is the a value. You have to tell me. Just I am printing. Here in the memory I am having a value 5 initial. So what is the operator I am having? Decrement. Decrement will take place first.
Yes, sir.
Isn't it? Yeah, decrement will take place first. The decrement takes place, it will become 4. In the memory location, the a value will become 4. So after the decrementation, it will be assigned a's value. After the decrementation, what is the value we are having? 4.
4.
So the actual value of a also will become. So that is the output we are having. So this is about pre's.
Sir,
Pre-increment and pre-decrement. Yeah, tell me.
sir. Again, why we get a value 4, sir? Once explain that again.
Because in the memory location we are going to modify. That is the actual meaning of increment and decrement values. Here, observe here, that's why plus a, which means a is equal to a plus 1 only. Internally, this will be happened. Means a value will be incremented, again that will be assigned to a. Here I am taking a value 5, in the memory location a value will be stored 5, the memory location will be there. Here what I am doing, plus a. Plus a means the meaning, internally the meaning is this one. A is equal to a plus 1. So internally the value, the actual value of a will be changed, that will become 6. So this will be incremented and will be assigned to a again. That's why we are modifying a value. Okay. So for example, b is equal to, that time also that is modifying a plus 1. Now what is the meaning of this one? B is equal to simply 5 plus 1. If you take the basic standard first value. So now the B value will become 6. So this time A value remains same. This time we are using A value and we are using A value and adding to 1 and storing in B. But this time the meaning is different. This time the meaning is different. If you write like this also, A is equal to plus A, this time also the meaning is different. The actual value of A will be modified. Actual value of A will be modified and that will be assigned to B. Here the actual value of A will not be modified because we are using and assigning to B. So that's right. The meaning of this one is equal to A is equal to A plus 1. The meaning of this one, yes, you understand the meaning of this one. A is equal to A plus 1. The value will be incremented, again assigned to A. The actual value of A will be modified. Don't be confused. It's a simple thing only. Okay, we have seen for the pre-increment and pre-decrement. We have seen pre-increment and pre-decrement we have seen. This time first incrementation will be takes place. Then the modified value will be assigned. Here also decrementation will be takes place, that modified value will be assigned here. Let us go for the post increment and post decrement. Here also I am taking a value some 5. So now I am writing the statement B is equal to A plus plus. B is equal to A plus. Post means the operator at last after the operand. Now you tell me, here I am printing the values. Percentile D, B comma A. These are the values I am printing. So what will be the output?
6, 5.
6 5 sir. 6 and 5.
5 6 sir. 5 6.
5 6. Why are you telling 5 6?
First it should be assigned to B, then it will be incremented.
Yeah. Initially, what is the value we are having? Variable we are having. So the variable's value will be assigned. Previously, we had the increment operator. For the increment operator, there is no value. So if it wants to get the value, it should be combined with operand. So that's why it has to perform the incrementation, then only assign. Here immediately the first one we are having variable. So variable, it is having its own value. Need not to go for the need not to perform the operation with increment. So the variable itself, it is having some value. That's why that will be assigned first. The A's value will be assigned. That's why the B value will become 5. Next. So here afterwards we are having what? Incrementation. What does it mean? A is equal to A plus 1. So the A value is equal to 6. It will become 6. In the memory location, we are having 5, that will be incremented by 1. It will become 6. So the meaning of this one is incrementing A's value. After the incrementation again we are printing, that's why it will be 6. Okay. So in the post increment, the variable's value assigned first, then it will be incremented. Variable's value will be assigned first, then it will be incremented, and that incremented value will be updated via printing. Is it fine? Now, here itself, let us go for the decrementation. Same value, A is equal to 5, I am taking. B is equal to A minus minus. Now you tell me what is the B value and what is the A value after this statement. Okay, in the memory location, I am having
5 4
5
5 4 5 4.
Yeah, the variable value will be assigned first. Value will be assigned. What is the value of B now? A's value, that is 5. Immediately we are having decrementation operation. What's the decrementation? A minus minus means A is equal to A minus 1. The meaning of this one is
4
A is equal to A minus 1.
4.
Yeah, how much here we will get? 4. It will become 4. The original value of A will be modified. So that is called pre-increment, pre-decrement, post-increment and post-decrement. So this is about increment and decrement operators. Okay, fine. So if it is in the same expression, that will be like that. If it is in the same expression, that will be like that. Let us take some expressions, some example expressions. You have to tell me the answers. A plus plus. If you take the values like this, we have to give the space here. We have to give the space minus plus plus A. Okay. What is the value of B now? We have to
7.
tell. How can you tell? How can you tell?
-2, sir. -2.
A value. Even the priorities, the priority
-2.
equals to increment and decrement. A value is 7. Now you tell me here. Here what's happening? What's happening?
Post increment.
Whereas increment operators, pre and post, I think will have the same priority, isn't it? First, you have to check that whether pre and post increments are having same priority or not. If both are having the same priority, we will go for first one, then next one, left to right. If pre has the highest priority, we have to consider this. You have to go through, just you check it. Pre and post increment operators, are they having equal precedence? If those are having the equal precedence, now observe here. Here what will happen? So it should be assigned to the equation first of all. So the value of A, what's the value of A? 7.
7.
7 will be placed in the equation first, because first operand I am having. Next, I am having addition, that is incrementation. The value of A will be modified. A plus plus means how much I will get? 8 I will get. Okay, internally that will be modified. Next, minus. Now observe here, value of A will be incremented first. Value of A will be incremented. The incremented value will be assigned here in the equation. So the incremented value, already I am having 8 and again this should be incremented by 1. That's why it will become 9. So the A original value will become 9, and that 9 will be placed over here. Now you tell me 7 minus 9. How much I will get? Minus 2. This will be the value. Understood? Let us take one more. Let's take one more equation. B is equal to plus A plus A minus minus. You tell me the answer. Same. A value I am taking as 7. For example, observe here. Here plus means incrementation first takes place because operator first ఉంది కాబట్టి incrementation will be takes place. If it incremented the A value, it will become 8. So after the incrementation only the value will be assigned here. 8 will be assigned here. Now you tell me here what I am having first. Operand first. That operand value will be assigned to the equation. ఫస్ట్ ఆపరేటర్ ఉంటే దాన్ని ఇంక్రిమెంట్ చేసి లేకపోతే డిక్రిమెంట్ చేసి ఆ వాల్యూని అసైన్ చేస్తుంది ఈక్వేషన్ లో. ఫస్ట్ ఆపరేటర్ ఉంటే ఫస్ట్ ఆపరెంట్ ఉంటే దట్ ఆపరెంట్ వాల్యూ విల్ బి ప్లేస్డ్ ఇన్ ద ఈక్వేషన్ itself. What's the operand I am having? A. What's the A value? Already updated value is here. 8. 8 will be placed in the equation, but afterwards I am having decrementation. The original value of A will be decremented by 1. It will become 7. So here B value will be 16 and A value will be 7. Okay?
Sir, once again explain, sir.
Yeah, sure.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, sure. I'm explaining.
Once again.
Sir,
Yeah, tell me.
sir, where this concept will be used, sir?
Maybe in interview parts, they will give you some piece of code. These increments and decrements may be used, but this concept is not there in Python. It is there in all other programming languages. Increment and decrement operators. Okay. So in the programming, these types of some questions, it's a small concept only, but will be useful. Without taking these examples, you cannot understand what will happen, what will be the output. So these questions may be asked in interview. Here I am taking A value as 5, some B value as some 10. C is equal to plus A minus B. Okay. Now you tell me. Here, whenever you take the operator like this, it is arithmetic operator, it is decrement operator. There should be space even in the equation. Here, need not to have the space. Directly we are having variable, need not to have space. Here, space must be there. Now you tell me the answer.
6 minus 9.
Yeah. Here, incrementation should be takes place first. That incremented value will be placed over here. That's why this will be incremented by 1. That will be placed over here. Minus. Now, here minus. First, decrementation of that value will be takes place. Decrementation. This will become 9. Okay. Here, what's the value here we'll get? 9.
9.
6 minus 9.
Minus 3.
Minus 3.
Minus 3.
C value is minus 3. A value is 6. B value is 9. B value is 9. So the C value is 9. I think you understood. Let us take one more example. Again, A is equal to 10. B is equal to some, 8. C is equal to, I am taking A plus minus B plus B. Now you tell me. Here we have to give space. Plus B.
10 plus 7 plus 9.
Yeah. Here A and B values also you have to tell. What are the
10 plus
updated
7.
A and B values? Here it is
10.
a post increment. What we are having, variable we are having. So that's why 10 will be placed over here. Plus, okay. But A's plus plus means A's original value should be changed. A's original value will become 11. Plus it is okay. Next, minus minus B. First we are having operator. That's why it should be, it should perform operator's operation. So minus minus B. How much? 7. So the 7 will be assigned. After the updation will be takes place in the pre-increments and pre-decrements. The post increments and post decrements, the variables value will be assigned. Then plus. Here plus plus B. Plus plus B means pre. Again I am taking pre. So it will be incremented by 1. It will become 8. That 8 will be assigned. Now you tell me 15 plus 10, 25. C value is 25. A value is 11 and B value is 8.
8.
So this is increment and decrement operators and its operations, the basic operations are enough for it.
Sir,
Okay?
it's small doubt.
Yeah, can ask.
And the second one we have taken as decrement of B, no sir. We consider the value as 7. So in the next increment of B, we should consider 8 or 7.
Here,
Yes, sir.
yeah, B's original value has been changed, original value. Original value only we have to consider next.
Then we have to take it as 9, no sir. How can we take it as 8? Increment of B, no sir. Post increment
Here,
of B.
here we decremented,
Yes, sir.
Here we decremented. That's why it has become 7,
Yes.
Pre, it is pre. It has become 7 and we have used that. The original value is 7 now. So after that I am having increment. So I am incrementing this one, not the original one.
Okay,
So
sir.
already it has modified. The original value has been modified to 7. So on the 7 I am applying, that's why it will become 8. I have used 8. Okay?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
So this is about increment and decrement operators. In the programming concepts also you can execute. You can see some examples also, no problem. We are having ternary operator. Let us go through the ternary operator also. Ternary operator, you have to know this. Ternary. We can call it as conditional operator also. We can call it as conditional operator, ternary operator. That operator will have the symbols question mark, colon. Finally, we will have the semicolon. Question mark and colon. Means here we will have the condition. Condition will be there and question mark. Here it is true statement. True statement here we will write colon false statement. We'll write finally semicolon. Okay, this is the usage of operator. Let us see. I am taking some a is equal to 10, b is equal to 20. In order to find out the biggest of two numbers, here the example, this is the syntax. The example, a is, I am going for the usage of relational operator. A is greater than b, semicolon. If it is true, I am printing printf percentile d is big. I can write the statements also, no problem. Percentile a is big, d is big. Here I am mentioning a. Then colon. If this condition is false, that's why I told you. If this condition is true, that will go for the true statement. If it is false, that will go for the print the false statement. Here I can write printf percentage d is big. Means if a is not big, which is big? B is big. Finally, semicolon. You can execute this, no problem. Here taking these values, some integer values. Okay, a is greater than b. That will check the condition. If it is true, that will print this statement. That is 10 is big. If it is false, that will go for the else block. Means 20 is big will be printed. You can write that code also. No problem. Here I am taking. I wanted to find out some C. C is equal to A is greater than B. I wanted to take the biggest value. A is greater than B. If it is true, I am placing A. If it is false, the colon, I am taking B. Now, what is the value of C? Can anybody tell me? I can take expressions or variables also. I can take these statements also, no problem. It is also allowed. Here tell me.
20,
Yeah,
sir.
10 into 10 is
B,
greater
sir.
than 20.
False.
If it is true, I am taking 10. If it is false, 20. Here this condition is false. That's why it will go for the
20.
Yeah, 20. So what is the C value? C is equal to 20. I can make use of variables values also. I can make use of this variable, this other expressions, another statements also. This is one example to print, and this is another example to get the values also. Okay. Some more statements also we can write here. We can use the variables, we can use the expressions, we can use the statements also. As a true statement, as a false statement also. We can use whatever you want. Now, biggest of two numbers program is over. How can we find out biggest of two numbers? Simply by using conditional operator or ternary operator. We can find out the biggest of two numbers. Now, by using this, can you find out the biggest of three numbers? By using this, can you find out the biggest of three numbers?
Yes, sir.
By using conditional operator. Biggest of three numbers. We're doing some programs. Very good. Yamini, Sumasri. Okay, very good. So let me take here stationary one. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Hash include stdio.h to main A is 10, comma B is equal to 20. I'm using ternary operator. If A is greater than B, I can write in the bracket also, no problem. When I'm printing printf percentile D is big. A column printf false statement I am writing. Percentage D is big. Reference is B. That's it. Return 0. Just take values in new line. Okay. Simple operation. Yeah.
Here we have to keep backslash n in the starting also. In the before percentile B.
Yeah, wherever you want, you can keep.
Okay, sir.
Just that is designing of output. I wanted to
Okay.
print in the new line.
Okay, sir.
After the output, I wanted to give that because command prompt will be displayed. That's why I wanted to display the command prompt in the next line. That's why I have taken this. Escape shift colon WQ. Now GCC TR1 / a dot out. 20 is big. So if I have given backslash n, that's why this command prompt has been printed in the new line. Otherwise, that will be printed here. So I am not giving. Okay. So 20 is big. That's it. If we modify the values based on the modification, that will be applied. You can. I am giving some 40. A's value 40. That will identify. Compile and run it. 40 is big. That's it. Here we can use that in another way also. Okay, this is one way. Just I'm commenting. Just if you want to hold the value also, you can take some C. I am taking D, some D variable. Just I wanted to take the value. I can take is equal to. You can go for A is greater than B or A is. If you take A is lesser than B, which is the smallest one also, you can find out. Getting, for example, A is lesser than B. I wanted to find out biggest of two numbers. Now you tell me, A is lesser than B. Here, A is lesser than B means what? This formula I am writing in reverse way. If A is lesser than B, which is the big here? If this condition is true,
20 is the
B is big.
B is big. Simply in the true part, I am placing B. If it is false, which is the big? A is the big.
40.
Yeah, A is the big. So based on this symbol which we are using, we have to write these statements. Getting based on the symbol. Here I have used greater than. If this condition is true, A is big. That's why I am printing A's value here. Here I am using lesser than. If this condition is true, B is big. In the true block, I have to keep whatever the statement I want. True block lo true aithe em trial anukuntam. Ade true block lo right. Okay, this is false. If that is not true, this will be the next statement. Okay, so that biggest value will be assigned to C. Now for D is equal to, I wanted to find out that square value of that one. Okay, power value of that C comma 2, the square value, just to print.
Sir, hash include maths dot h.
Yeah, we have to include hash include math.h.
Sir, GCC compiler loading of fast hash include convert sir.
Not that won't accept.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this statement will not be compiled because I have commented these statements. So C value will be find out, C value I am finding out the power. I can make use of the variables. For that purpose only I am taking some example. Not only these printf statements, we can write the variables also to show that only. Then escape, shift colon WQ, enter. While compiling, we have to use like this. -lm in this GCC compiler Linux environment. Here -lm whenever we are using some mathematical functions. Okay, math.h related function power I am using. So at the time of compilation, here you have to give the space -lm. Okay, otherwise that will generate error. Here, observe here, without the time compiling again, it is generating error. Power is not identified. Okay, so that's why with lm I have to compile. Dot out. We have not printed dval. We have not printed dval. Printf d is equal to percentile d \n comma d. This value will be printed here. Yeah, compile it. 1600. The biggest value is 40. 40 square. 40 square we got 1600. So this is the way of using increment and decrement. Sorry, conditional operator. Conditional operator. Just your assignment. Find out biggest of three numbers. Biggest of three numbers. Here I have taken only 2. Can we write another program? Whether the given number is even or odd. Can we write another program? Just I wanted to check the, let me write another program. Why to modify this again? Let's see. Hash include domain. I'm taking a variable, so for example, n. Just I wanted to check printf enter a positive integer. ఇక్కడ కోలన్ పెట్టాలా సార్ అంటే simply that is our interest. Okay, just to differentiate the value, input value, I am keeping colon. You can keep any symbols here, no problem. Scanf ld, I am reading value of n, address of n. By using ternary operator, how can I check whether the given number is even or odd? How can I check? Tell me. You can write. If a modulus 2 is equal to 0, can I take this as a condition? Students?
Sir, n modulus.
Yeah, very good. N modulus 2 is equal to 0. If it is true, then it is an even number. Otherwise, it is odd number. Here, if you want to take the printf statements, you can take printf statements. If you want to take only some signs means true statement means just I wanted to take one value 1. If it is false, I am taking 0. whatever you want you can take. I am taking statement, just directly I am printing here. Percentage D is an even. Percentage D is even. Simply, I am not writing number, not backslash n, comma, n is the reference for that percentage. Colon, printf, if that is false, if the remainder value is not 0, that will go to the false part. Here I am writing printf backslash n percentile D is odd. N, comma, the reference is n. Return 0. We can write, we can execute this type of conditions also. Okay. Whatever the relational operators, whatever the logical operators, increment operator, decrement, you can use as a condition based on your requirement. GCC space tr2.c. Here I am not using any math.h functions. Directly I am going for compilation. /a.out. Enter a positive integer. I am giving some 3. It is odd number. 3 is odd. I am executing again. I am giving some 30. It is even number. Okay. Some number, whatever you want. 230 or 7. It is odd number. If it is exceeding the range, we have to go for long int or long int. So this is the way we can write the program. So today your task is the first one, arithmetic progression, the formula, algorithm, that picture you have to upload. The second one, biggest of 3 numbers. Finding the biggest of 3 numbers by using ternary operator. Ternary operator. Those screenshots or images you have to keep.
Sir, once explain first question, sir. 1 second.
I have generated second formula, you know, in the arithmetic progression. S is equal to n by 2 into.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, 2a plus n minus 1 into. I think 2a plus n minus 1 into d. For that formula,
Yes, sir.
yes, you write the algorithm. How can you solve the arithmetic progression equations? Okay, just you write the algorithm. Give the share the image.
Sir, ఈ ఇంతకు ముందు మీరు చేసిన కంపైలర్ లో అంటే జీసీసీ కంపైలర్ లో సిఎల్ఆర్ ఎస్సిఆర్ అవసరం లేదా సార్?
అవసరం
అంటే
లేదు.
టు క్లియర్ చేసి
అవసరం లేదు. సిఎల్ఆర్ ఎస్సిఆర్ ఎందుకు, మనం క్లియర్ అనేది కమాండే ఉంది ఇక్కడ. క్లియర్. ఓకే, అన్నీ ఉన్నాయి కాబట్టి అందుకని అవసరం లేదు. ఓకే, ప్లీజ్ వెయిట్ and create another folder for you. Today's date 5th. 5/1/21.
5, sir.
Okay. Submit your assignment here. Okay.
సార్ మీరు ఇంతకు ముందు ఒక కోడ్ రాశారు చూడండి సార్, అంటే ఏజ్ గ్రేటర్ దాన్ బి, బి ఏజ్ లెస్ దాన్ బి దాంట్లో అది రెండు అంటే మీరు ప్రింట్ ఎఫ్ దాంట్లో రెండు సపరేట్ రాశారు కదా సార్, అవి రెండు కంబైన్ గా రాయలే మా కోడ్ అంటే స్టేట్మెంట్ ప్రింట్ ఎఫ్ లో.
Okay, two statements actually it is operator syntax. Number of statements only one statement only we can execute. Here for the biggest of three numbers you can go for, in this true block you can write another again ternary operator you can write. Okay, here we are writing one ternary operator. Here another ternary operator you can write for that in the true block. In the ternary operator you have to, if you write another ternary operator, again condition, true statement and false statement must be written here. Then this statement, this true statement for this condition is completed.
Sir, once write that statement, sir.
What?
That combined statement.
Combined statements means we cannot write it. Here only single statement is allowed.
Okay, sir.
As a true statement. Just you Google it and try to understand it. Okay. If you are unable to understand it, I will explain the biggest of three numbers. Submit your single picture, algorithm and program in a single image with your name and roll number. Just should. Okay. Okay, students, we can meet on tomorrow. Bye to all.
Bye, sir.
Bye.